The finale centers on one final impossible choice, whether Mother should be saved or finally allowed to die. By the finale, the Boroughs stops being just a mystery about strange powers and immortality. It becomes a story about grief, aging, fear of death, and the desperate human need to hold on to the people we love. Every major character in the end then represents a different response to mortality, and that's exactly why the finale feels both emotional and unsettling at the same time. At the start of the finale, Sam shocks everyone when he suddenly changes the plan. Instead of killing Mother or using her powers, he insists they must help her reach the cave. At first, the group thinks he's lost his mind. Wally especially cannot understand the decision because Mother's blood and abilities could potentially cure diseases, extend life, or even defeat death itself. To Wally, destroying that power feels insane. But Sam understands something nobody else does, because Mother has been speaking to him telepathically. She's suffering. For decades, Mother has been trapped as both a miracle and a prisoner. Blaine and Annalise see her as an answer to death, while others see her as a scientific breakthrough. But nobody has truly treated her like a person with her own wishes. Sam finally does. That's why the finale frames him as the moral center of the story. He realizes immortality without peace becomes torture. Mother doesn't want to live forever healing people while trapped and exploited. She wants freedom. The cave matters because it represents both her birthplace and her ending, almost like returning to where her existence began so it can finally stop. Blaine's speech during the anniversary celebration explains his entire character. He talks about aging like it's a thief stealing joy, beauty, love, and identity. The Boroughs itself was never really about community or happiness. It was built as a shield against mortality. Everything Blaine does in the finale comes from terror. Even after everything collapses around him, he still cannot let Mother go because he believes her power could bring Annalise back and erase death permanently. He's willing to imprison, torture, and kill people for that possibility. That's why his ending is so important. Mother destroys him with the very force he tried to control. The finale is basically saying that Blaine's greatest flaw is his refusal to accept life's natural ending. And like Sam, who learns to let go of grief, Blaine clings to it until it destroys him completely. The most shocking moment in the finale is easily Judy coming back to life. After Annalise brutally stabs her, Judy dies in Art's arms during one of the episode's most emotional scenes. Her memory about the failed Grand Canyon trip perfectly captures the show's larger message. The moments that matter most are often the accidental, imperfect ones. Then Mother resurrects her. The miracle proves that the legends surrounding Mother were real all along. She truly can reverse death. But the scene is also important because it explains why Blaine became obsessed in the first place. If someone you loved could be brought back, how could you ever willingly let that power disappear? Still, the resurrection weakens Mother badly, reinforcing the idea that life cannot simply be restored endlessly without consequences. Every miracle costs something. Inside the cave, Mother finally reveals the truth. She plans to explode and end everything herself. The cave almost feels spiritual rather than scientific. By this point, the series intentionally blurs the line between supernatural power, psychic energy, and something cosmic beyond human understanding. Blaine arrives because he still refuses to accept reality. Even at the very end, he clings to Mother, screaming that he cannot die. But Mother's children surround him as her energy erupts through the cave. Thematically, it's the perfect ending for Blaine. He spent the entire series trying to dominate Mother's power, and in the end, that same force consumes him completely. Mother finally dies peacefully, free from the endless cycle of exploitation and suffering. For the first time in decades, she belongs to herself. After the explosion, Sam sees Lily again and dances with her while Thunder Road plays. The finale deliberately leaves this ambiguous. It was a genuine supernatural reunion. Mother's final act may have allowed Sam to truly reconnect with Lily one last time beyond death. The emotional tone of the scene strongly supports this interpretation because it feels too intimate and sincere to be just a hallucination. It was a vision created by Mother. Mother may have given Sam one final gift before dying, the chance to say goodbye properly and find peace with his grief. And it represents emotional acceptance. The scene may be symbolic rather than literal. Sam finally accepts that love survives even after loss. Lily reminding him that time itself is a gift becomes the emotional thesis of the entire series. Wally's arc is surprisingly heartbreaking at the finale. At first, he desperately wants Mother preserved because he's terrified of dying. And like Sam, he cannot emotionally handle the idea that life eventually ends. But Renee helps him realize something important. Endless life without peace or humanity would destroy what makes life meaningful in the first place. That's why his acceptance of Mother's choice becomes one of the finale's biggest emotional turning points. By the end, Wally is no longer chasing immortality. He's planning trips, reconnecting with people, and actually living. Ironically, accepting death is what finally allows him to enjoy life again. The ending appears peaceful, Judy is alive, Claire reconnects with Sam, and the survivors finally sit together like a family. Then the static flickers again. That final moment suggests Mother's power did not disappear completely. The static throughout the series has always represented reality bending under the influence of Mother's strange psychic energy, so the final flicker implies one of several possibilities. Some part of Mother still exists, her energy survived the explosion, the psychic connection she created cannot fully disappear, and the supernatural forces beneath the Boroughs are still active. Most importantly, it means the story's mystery is not truly over. Even though the characters emotionally move forward, the finale leaves behind the unsettling idea that death, memory, and consciousness may still be connected in ways nobody fully understands. At its core, the Boroughs finale is not really about immortality. It's about learning to live despite knowing life ends. Every character represents a different reaction to mortality. Blaine tries to conquer death, Wally fears it, Mother wants release from endless existence, and Sam learns to accept loss without letting it destroy him. That's why the final dinner scene matters so much. The survivors are not celebrating eternal life. They're celebrating connection, memory, and the fragile beauty of ordinary moments together. The show ultimately argues that mortality is not what makes life tragic, it's what makes life meaningful.